Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I hope you guys are doing well. This is the broadcast for the full moon in Libra ceremony. And if you're new to ceremony, or just to remind us all why we come into ceremony and what the importance of balancing it with the moon is, we come into ceremony with the cycle of the moon, with the cycle of the planet, because it helps us to give our lives focus. When we're fighting against what's going on naturally, it can be really, really hard for us to move forward in our lives. But if we know what's going on energetically, what's going on in the cycle of the planet, what's going on in the cycle of the moon phases, it really helps us to shift things that we're looking to shift in our lives. It gives us a specific focus, gives us a specific theme to work with. So for example, the sun right now is in Aries. Yay for all my Aries loves. And this is the first sign of the zodiac. This is the charging forward, the new story, the new chapter of our lives energy. The sun is still in Aries, so we want to bring in that into ceremony. We want to keep that in mind as we think about the energies that are in play here. Now, the moon itself is in Libra. So Libra is the sign of balance. We have a little imbalance going past us at the moment, but Libra is a sign of balance. So the theme of what we're working on today is going to be about how to find more balance in our lives. And we're really going to be journaling and working on doing that. So if you don't have a journal yet, go find one, grab one, come back to this, pause it if you're on the replay. But we're going to be journaling about a lot of different things. And then we're going to end with a meditative experience. I have been doing moon ceremonies for 2 years now, personally, and then with other people just this last year. And I have been seeing the effects of the intentions that I set on the moons, the healing that is happening in my life, the shifts, and all of the beauty that comes through when I set these intentions. Sometimes they're way more powerful than I ever thought they could be, but that's actually a pretty good thing and just keeps me on my toes and really helps me to keep growing, keep evolving, keep changing, and to give that a little bit of focus. So when we're doing ceremony, I always like to bring in all of the elements. So you'll see me go around. You can do this personally in your own setting, but my intention is that I'm holding all of you inside this circle and in this space. So we light the candles for each element. So this candle is facing the north over here. Maybe I won't light it. There we go. And we're going to call in the elements of the north. This is the earth energy. We're just going to thank that stable energy for being here with us as we call it in. This is all about intentions. When we do ceremony, it's all about the intention that we set. So as we call in these energies and set these intentions, just give yourself time to hold it. Obviously needed more time to hold that one because the candle took so long to lit, and that's okay. Thank you, elements of earth, for being here. Calling the elements of air. Thank you for being here. Calling in the elements of fire. The air is the breath in our lungs. The fire is the passion in our body. I might be out of lighter fluid. No. So we thank the fire for being here. Thank the Aries energy that the sun is in right now. We call in the energies of the west, element of water. And then we call in, I have one in the center for the moon herself. So we call in the element of the moon herself as well. That just helps to set the tone of the circle. We're going to move forward now. I'm going to have you get out your journal. And what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line down the middle of the page. And at the top, we're going to write things that are good on one side of the column. And on the other side, we're going to write things that are bad. And then I'm going to give you a few moments here. I really want you to, the ceremony is all about you. It's all about your intention. It's all about how much you get out of it is how much you're going to put into it. So I want you to go through these lists right now and start to write down all the things that are good in your life right now. Just start to write down all of those things that come to you. Really try to get at least 3, 10, 12, however many you want, but really start to write down the things that are good right now in your life. So if you're just joining, what we're doing is we're writing down all of the things that are good in our life. We drew a line down the center of our paper. We wrote things that are good. On one side, we're just writing the things that are good right now. So stretch yourself, see if you can find anything else that's good in your life right now. Just taking a few minutes to really put as much into this as you can so you can get as much out of it as we move forward. Feel free to be silly and write things down like a roof over my head or food in my cupboards or clean air or whatever it is, or health. Feel free to be general, feel free to be specific. And then when you're ready, you can move over to the things that are bad side. So again, don't try to censor it. This isn't a spot where we're really trying to like pretend we're not as upset about the things that are bad as we are. This is a time to just write it down. Like what's your truth? What do you think is bad right now? What's bad in your life right now? Just write all that down. What's bad in the world right now? Whatever it is, just start to write that down. Be honest with yourself about where you are, about how you feel. And what it is that you think is not so great that's going on in your space right now. For those of you who might be hearing background noise, I just wanted to let you know a little bit more about this community center if you don't know already. We're above KB Greens, which is a microgreen store, and they're still open. They're essential. They're still serving microgreens to people. So there's people coming in off the street. There's people who are 6 feet apart, but getting their microgreens to boost their immune system. It's actually a really, really powerful way to boost your immune system. If you've never heard about it, I recommend following them and learning about it, because it's something that I've been diving into, and I'm finding a lot of benefit just putting more greens, more healthy, that fresh baby life of all of these plants. The energy that you get from eating that is really, really supportive to your whole body. So if you're hearing all of that side noise, just want to let you know what that was. And again, just give a plug to KB Greens for being here, for allowing us to have the center above them, and for everything that they do. So just wanted to take time to plug Ken and KB Greens and microgreens. All right, so now we're gonna draw a line underneath wherever your list ended up, or just flip to a new page. And now what I want you to do is I want you to write on the top, on the one side, things that I thought were bad that turned out good. So things that I thought were bad that turned out good. And then I want you to write down things in your life that you remember that you thought at first were bad. Like you were like so sure this is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. And then now that you have retrospect, now that you can look back and you have hindsight, it turned out to not be such a bad thing. So just search your mind, search your memory for a few things in your life. For me, it's always breakups. I always think the breakup's like the worst thing that's ever happened to me. And then like years later, I'm like, oh, duh, of course that didn't work. It's actually a good thing that that relationship fell apart for whatever reason. So that's my personal go-to example of this, but there's a lot of different things that you can say. Like maybe you were on a path for a certain career and something happened, and you know your whole trajectory was reset. But then a beautiful opportunity came from that. So just some examples. Try to find at least three. Really search your mind, search your brain for that. Now we're going to move on to write, I mean, you don't have to write this, but if you want to just like draw an arrow from good to bad, you can, or just write things that were good that turned out bad. So things that you thought like were the best thing that had ever happened to you, and like you were like so excited about it and so certain it was the path or whatever it was, and then it turned out to be something not so great in your life. So just write down 3 of those that come to your mind. So the reason I had you guys write the things that you thought were bad that turned out good and things that you thought were good that turned out bad was because a lot of times what we think it is right now, it turns out to be the complete opposite, and it doesn't have to be something that's set in stone. So this is a reminder to us that it's not good or bad, it's just a matter of where we are with this issue in our lives right now at this moment. What I'm learning is that calling things good or bad, basically, like, let's say we have a scale, right? We're talking about the scale, we're talking about balance. Libra is that balance energy. As soon as you put something either good or bad, the scale starts moving. And the universe will have to put something else on that scale to bring balance again. And then you put more emphasis on the bad, and then the scale's out of balance again, and then the good comes back, and then you really are in that good flow, but then there needs to be more balance with the negative. And life is always doing this. We can switch our perspectives, which changes the weight of the scales. We can switch the way that we think, the things we surround ourselves with, but it's always doing this. Everything in life is in constant flow and constant change. We're always calling things good or bad, good or bad. What it does is it puts us out of balance. It keeps us in this up and down cycle. What we want is we want to know how to get here, where everything's completely balanced. The only way to get to where everything is completely balanced is to stop putting things on the scale. Stop saying it's good or bad. Just finding a way to be balanced and meet what it is right now in this moment for you without needing to say it's good or without needing to say it's something bad. That requires a level of trust that we as a human species are starting to get comfortable with. We're starting to learn, we're starting to explore, but it's pretty difficult to get to that point where you're like, no, this is definitely bad or this is definitely good, and I want to hold on to that, I want to attach to that. But how many times in your life has it changed? How many times has perspective shown you that you were wrong about what was good or bad? And how much stress did it cause you either way? When we think that things are good, we tend to organize our life around holding on to that good. So when things are really good, we start to protect ourselves from losing that good thing. We start to do things that take us away from our balance because we're trying to keep that part of the scale, that goodness, up high and keeping everything bright and positive and whatever you want to call it. And we start to see all of the bad as things that take us away from that. But what the bad really is just a shifting of scales. It's just trying to bring us back into balance. The bad that we call bad in our lives happen is really just the universe trying to force us back into ourselves, force us back into a place where we don't have to say this is good or bad. We can just be here in this moment. Think of it like this. It's like trying to live in the past or trying to live in the future. It's the same thing. Where's the only place that you can ever be? Right in the middle. You can't ever be in the past or ever be in the future. All you can be is present right now in this moment. When you're present right now in this moment, and we're going to be doing a meditation to explore this concept a little bit further. I want everyone to be able to feel this concept in their bodies so that you can really understand where it is that I'm going with this. But it's not past or future. Like past and future are always changing too, right? The future is either scary and daunting, or it's looks super good. And the past is either something that was terrible for you, or the past is either something that you come to terms with. But neither of those things give you balance because they're not happening right now. They're taking you out from yourself. They're taking you away from the truth of you, which is you right now in this moment. Me right now in this moment, there's nothing good or bad happening. It's just all happening. And I'm open to it. I'm embracing it. I'm not thinking about what I did earlier today. I'm not thinking about what I'm supposed to be doing in the future. I'm thinking about the words that are coming out of my mouth, the feeling that I'm trying to convey, the concepts that are coming through to really bring us to this balance. This is the Aries in the sun, right? This is the time to start something completely new. The zodiac has started all over again. So part of that restart can be a shift in you to stop labeling things as good or bad. Mainly because you never really know. Time will make it bad, time will make it good, or time will make it bad, and then maybe it'll shift again when you get older, maybe it'll change. So really just finding a way to be neutral and to embrace that neutrality in the moment will help you. Now we're also going to go back to our list of things that are bad, and you can just take them one by one, but I want you to write down a possible way in which they could be good in the future. Just come up with a way, try to use your imagination, think of a way that these things that are bad right now for you could maybe, through hindsight, not be so bad. I don't know what those ways are. I can give you examples. If you have something that you're like, Paige, I don't see how this could ever be good, put it in the comments. I'll try to help you get there. But really go through each thing that you wrote down for this is bad in your life. I want you to really start seeing a future, just a potential future. It doesn't matter if it's like 0.001% probability of happening. Write down a potential future where that thing that's bad right now could be good. Okay, I did come up with an example, so if you guys are having trouble finding examples, my first thing that I wrote down is things that are bad. I don't know how I'm paying rent this month, but the thing that could be good about it is perhaps not being able to pay rent moves me to a place that I'm happier, a place that is more serving to my needs and what I want and what my future is that is unfolding. So that's a potential way that it could be a good thing. So what I'm going to invite you to do now is, if you're in a place where it feels comfortable, you can read these out loud, or if you're in a place where that's not appropriate, you want to just read these in your head. So you want to read what it is. Things are bad because whatever it is that you wrote down, but they could be good because whatever. And then you're going to end that sentence with, so I release my attachment to these things being bad. So you go through that with each one. So you're just like, things are bad because whatever you wrote down in the bad section, but they could be good because whatever you wrote down in the flip. And then saying at the end of that, so I release my attachment to thinking it's bad because I don't know. Even if it's a small percent probability. And just have fun with this, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if you're like, I still think it's bad. Just try it. See how it feels in your body. Listen to how it feels in your body to say that to yourself. Now this part might be a little bit difficult, but I'm going to have you go through all the things that are good and write down a way in the future that they could be bad. We're going to do a different affirmation with them once we read through them. This might be a little hard because you're like, I don't want to see it bad. I don't want to create that. I don't want to think of that possibility. But because we're trying to get to balance, which is saying things are neither good nor bad, we have to kind of look at the things that are good in our lives and how that could possibly shift moving forward. And just give ourselves an example. And then when we do the phrasing, what we're going to say is instead of, so I release my attachment to that being good, you can say, so I am experiencing complete gratitude for that now, right? Because the things that are good in our life, we really want to be grateful for. But they could go bad. Things could change. People could make different decisions. They could leave our lives. We could experience things differently. Things could change. And that's all part of this up and down cycle. So go through all the things that are good, write down a way that they could be bad in the future. Try not to get too morose with it. Remember, as you're doing this too, you can go through like we did with the other one and then say at the end of it, so I'm fully experiencing my gratitude for that right now. And then allow yourself to be grateful for all that is good in your life as you release all that you think is bad, because you don't know if you don't know if that'll forever be bad. And if you finished writing down the ways that the good things could be bad, then again, just go through and say each one of them. Things are good right now because whatever, but they could be bad in the future because whatever reason. So I am experiencing full gratitude for the good that they are right now. And really just give yourself a moment to like feel that. Embrace the gratitude you feel for the things that you have that you consider good in your life at this moment. Okay, my friends, so we are going to leave that aside. That's something that you can go back to at any time if you are really weighed down with a lot of things that are bad in your life. You can just do that reverse and remind yourself that you don't have to attach to them being bad, because it might turn out in the future that they're good. And that giving them this bad energy really starts to keep you out of balance, because it starts putting something on a scale. As soon as you say something's good or bad, it starts doing this with the scales inside of you. Your internal balance system starts being like, well, if this is bad, then this is good, and now I have to have good. Or same thing when you say something's good. When you say something's good, you automatically make the opposite thing bad. And that creates this imbalance inside of you when it is that you're focusing on things in your life and reacting. So if you're able to be in the present moment and see everything as like, oh, it's just a lesson. This is happening, and I feel like it's bad, but maybe it's just here to teach me something. Maybe I can see the lesson through this. Maybe there's something in this that is happening so that I can find my balance again. Really, every time something bad or even extremely good happens to us, it's reminding us to stay balanced, to stay centered, to find our way back into a place where we are in the moment and not trying to label things and trying to hold on to things. Because every time we say something's good, we have the tendency to hold on to it, to not want it to go away, to protect it, to need more of it. And that can be just as destructive as focusing on all of the bad things too. Focusing on all the good things and how you can only have those things really also creates an imbalance in your life, because it's trying to create this permanency, this stability that the planet, that nature itself doesn't ever exhibit. If you watch nature, nature is never not changing. Everything is always changing. Death, decay, birth, growth, all of that, that's always happening. It's a cycle. So as we say things are good or bad, we get caught in trying to get things to stay still, like especially when we're trying to hold on to good things, right? We're just like, oh, that's good, I want it forever, I don't want anything else to change. But things always change, things have to die, things have to be born, things have to shift, because that's the natural rhythm of life. And when we resist that by holding on to the good things, we can also create imbalance in our bodies, imbalance in our lives, because we're trying to stay still when nature is naturally trying to let us change, evolve, and grow. And a lot of the things that we think are bad, that we say are bad, are just things that needed to happen to help us grow as well. So we're going to leave all of our writing, all of our journaling aside. You can close it, you can put it away. We're going to get going into a meditation now. So for those of you who are on Patreon and joined for the Ascension broadcast yesterday, it's going to be a little bit similar to that. We're just going to dive a little bit further into this balance element of it, and we'll go from there. So I want you to get your body comfortable. Make any last minute adjustments to the position that you're in so you can sit and rest comfortably. There we go. So allow your body to get comfortable. Gently close your eyes. I'm going to invite you to take a deep inhale in and exhale. Deep inhale in through the nose, out through the mouth. Another deep, full inhale in and exhale. Return to your normal breathing as you bring your awareness into your body, just slowly becoming aware of any sensations in your body that are calling your attention at this moment. Not trying to change or judge or control, just observing the physical sensations in your body at this moment in time. This feels good, this doesn't feel good, this feels warm, this feels cold, this feels tight, this feels loose, whatever it is, just noticing it. As you take a scan of your body, just settle into the experience of what's going on in your body right now. Breathing easy and relaxed as you scan your body from your head down to your feet. Then we're going to imagine that coming down from the ceiling is a beautiful, sparkling white light, You can think of it as the light of a full moon, that feels good, or the light of the sun or the stars. As you feel this light coming down and blanketing your body, it's inviting your body, your muscles, your ligaments, your bones even, to release and relax. Let go of any effort that you're making so that you can be comfortable in this position. This light travels all the way down to your toes and goes into the big toe. So just focusing on your big toe, see if you can feel or sense or visualize or just intend the light to be there. Relaxing the big toe, the second toe, the third toe, the fourth and the pinky toe, and both feet. Feeling the toes surrounded by this calming, relaxing sensation as it moves into the bottom of the feet and the top of the feet. Calming and releasing tension in the bottom and top of the feet. Moving into the ankles. Releasing tension in the ankles. Releasing tension in the heels. As it moves up into the shins and the calves. Helping you to release any tension in the shin and calf muscle as you relax your body even further. Visualizing and feeling this calming white vibration moving through and up your body, going through the knees, helping the knees to relax, moving into the thighs, surrounding the thigh muscles, helping them to release and relax. Letting go of any effort that they're making. If they're trying to hold on to any particular position or energy, just invite that part of your body to relax. Feel the white light moving through that area, helping you to let go and release. If you find a specific tightness or tense area in your body, you just want to take a deep breath into that, breathing in the light. As you breathe in, the light gets brighter. As you exhale, you can feel that tension release. This calming sensation moves up into the hips, massaging your hips, inviting you to release any tension stored in our hips. Moving through the pelvic region, moving through the sit bones and muscles, just allowing you to relax and release the tension in your sit bones and muscles. Throughout your hips and your pelvic region, allowing that whole part of your body to let go, to release. This calming white light moves up into the base of your spine. You can feel it in the base of your spine, a tingling, a warmth. It goes up the lower back, relaxing the lower back, moving into the middle back, soothing and releasing any tension in the middle back, going all the way to the upper back, helping you to relax and release any tension in the upper back as this light travels back down to the base of the spine and heads up the front of your body, going into the sacral region, 2 inches below the belly button, the intestinal region. This warmth, this calming, relaxing sensation spreads out through that region, inviting you to relax and release. Moves into the stomach, helping you to relax and release tension in your stomach, letting go of any effort that you're making. Moving into the heart center now, moving into the chest. You can feel your chest open, your shoulders drop down away from your ears. As this calming, warm light moves through the chest and moves down the arms, upper arms, massaged by this calming light. Moving through the elbows, moving through the lower arms, the wrists, the palms, the back of the hands. Seeing if you can isolate each finger as the light goes into the thumbs, pointers, the middle, to the ring, to the pinky fingers. This calming sensation moves back up the arms, back into the shoulders, inviting you to drop the shoulders down and away from the ears once more. As this calming, relaxing feeling moves into the throat, you can feel the throat open, the neck releases any tension. It's supporting your head but without strain or effort. This light is inviting you to find that place of zero effort. It moves into your jaw. Check in with your jaw. Is your jaw locked into place? If it is, unlock it, release it, let it fall naturally without effort. Let it be where it wants to be without strain. Same thing with your tongue. Sometimes our tongue is forced into a position that we don't even realize. Make sure your tongue is laying limp and loose in your mouth. There's no effort or strain there. Your lips can also hold tension, so check in there. Release any tension in the lips. Same thing with the cheeks, letting go of any effort the cheeks are making, the effort the ears are making. Going up to the eyelids, checking in that they're loosely, lightly, gently closed on the eyes, but they're not being forced shut. That they're just enjoyably, comfortably, lightly closed. As this light moves up into your third eye, into your forehead, and helps smooth out any wrinkles of the forehead, smooth out any effort or strain in the forehead, and moves up to the top of the head, releasing and relaxing any tension in the top of your head. Your whole body now, you can visualize, feel, and sense it's surrounded by this light, feeling into this relaxed vibration, this relaxed state of being for your body. As we invite our focus and attention to our forehead again, keeping your eyes closed, but looking at your forehead as though you could see it. And in that dark space, this is your mind's eye, this is your imagination center. What I'm going to first have you visualize is all the things that happened to you today. So just go through your day, everything that you did from the moment you woke up to the moment you sat down to do this meditation. Give yourself a few moments to do this, just seeing and feeling and replaying your day in your mind's eye. Paying attention to how your body feels, paying attention to any emotions that come up, don't get stuck in anything that happened. Just notice it, move through it. And we're going to go back and look at the past year. So from the beginning of the new decade, I want you to start from the day that you started New Year's, whatever you were doing at that time, just seeing things play out in your mind, going through your mind, going through important events, important things that happened, influential experiences. We're going to take a few moments to do this, so allow yourself to have this process and this experience. Trying not to get caught up in anything that might be too disturbing to review, just looking at it, noticing it, and like, and that happened. And then this happened. And as we do this is a good place to try not to say that was good or bad as you look at it, just saying that happened. And releasing a little bit of the charge if it was something that you consider bad. Feeling a little bit of gratitude for it if it's something that you consider good. As you get closer and closer to this moment that you're in right now. Now we're going to go back to the moment of your birth, and we're going to go through as many of the important moments as you can that led you up into the space that we're in. And again, really try to see everything and not label it as good or bad. If you find yourself labeling it, be like, I'm grateful for that. If you find it as good, and if you find yourself labeling it as bad, just say, I can't know that it's bad. Maybe something in the future will happen that I realize that it was a good thing. So go through your life from the moment you were born and the things that you remember, the important emotionally charged events, the good that you're grateful for, the bad that you're learning to release your attachment to thinking that it has to stay bad. I'm going to spend 2 minutes on this, so give yourself time. Notice your reaction to these events. Feel gratitude or release. Bringing yourself closer and closer to things that brought you to this year. Now we're going to extend our focus and shift and move now to visualizing and seeing and sensing all the potential futures that we've engaged in the last couple of days. So just allow yourself to remember the things that you've been seeing happen in the future. And as something good that you see potentially happening comes up, you can just say, I would be grateful if that happens. I am unattached to it happening. And if something fearful comes up, if something bad that you would say was bad comes up in your head about a potential future, you can just say, even if that happens, I can't say for certain that it would be a bad thing, because in the future, it might end up past that event happening, it might end up being a good thing. So I'm not attaching to whether it happens, but I'm also trusting that if it did happen, that perhaps it wouldn't be as bad as I think it would be right now, because I've been wrong in the past. And life seems to constantly go between good and bad. So just look at the things you've been thinking about, visualizing happening in your future, worried about happening in your future, anxious about happening in your future, excited to happen in your future. And just the things that you consider good, just say, I'd be grateful if that happened. Even the things that were bad, say, if it happens, I trust that I don't have to think that it's bad. Perhaps there's some good in it that I haven't seen yet. Perhaps there's a lesson there that's needed. If it's happening, there's a reason. And it's probably so that I can have a lesson. So just go through your future with those intentions. Now we're going to pull ourselves back into this present moment. We're going to sit for a moment or two in the present experience, this present moment, your breath, the sounds around you, the sensations around you, the smells. Being present in this moment. Anytime you notice yourself going to the past or to the future or to thinking about something that's good or bad or wherever your mind wants to go, bring yourself back to this experience. Remember that meditation is a practice. To train your mind, you have to practice. So that's what we're doing right now. We're just going to sit and we're going to explore what being present in this moment feels like without relating anything to the past and without relating anything to the future, without relating things to good or bad, just being in this moment, right here, right now. What does that feel like in your body? Explore that, practice it. Notice that when you've wandered away from it, and just gently, lovingly, understandingly guide yourself back to the present. You may begin now, breathing easy and free. See if you can find that balance point of the present experience in between the past and the future. Fully embracing and opening up to this moment. The sound of my voice, the sounds around you, the sensations around you, the experience of your breath, and the constant moving yourself back into the present as you step up. Now we're going to release that exercise and shift our focus to our heart. Just feeling into your heart center, which is in the center of your chest, feeling into your physical heart. Feeling into your heart, just becoming aware of the sensations there, holding your focus in your heart. And as you hold your focus in your heart, I'm going to invite you to imagine that you could see yourself from outside your body, where you're seated or lying down right now. You could notice yourself focusing on your heart wherever you are, looking peaceful and relaxed in the position that you're in, noticing the details of the space around you. Focusing on your heart once more, you start to notice that somewhere in the room a door is forming. This is the door that leads into your heart center. So as you start to see this door, it starts to take a shape. What shape is it? Is it a traditional door? Is it an atypical door shape? Just noticing the shape that it's taking. This is the door into your heart. Whatever you want to imagine it being is perfect and right for you. Don't force anything to happen. Some people have different sensory experiences. Just allow yourself to intend that as you focus on your heart, somewhere in the room, a space is opening up for you to walk through and go into your heart. As you see this space, this door forming, you start to notice the color and the details. Start to see all the different aspects of this door. The material that it's made out of, maybe there's multiple materials it's made out of, maybe there's carvings on it, metalwork, detailing. Maybe there's plant life around it. Maybe it's stark and clean. So you look at this door to go into your heart, you notice its handle. First noticing its shape and its color, its material, the design of the door handle and detailing. In just a moment, you're going to prepare to open up this door into your heart. When you are ready, you can see your hand reach out and open the handle, opening the door and stepping into a beautiful, wild landscape. It's whatever landscape is your favorite landscape, whatever landscape your heart loves, it's this times 1,000. There's so many beautiful details of it. All of the things you love are here. All of the animals, the flowers, the hills, the insects, whatever it is that you enjoy, bring it into this space. Is there water? What kind of water is there? Are there trees? Are there mountains? Are there valleys? Is there desert? Are there cactuses? What is this space for you? What makes your heart the happiest to imagine? That's what is inside of your heart center. I'm just going to walk around this space and explore it for a moment. And as you walk around this space, you begin to notice somewhere off in the distance, not too far, there's a set of staircases. There's a staircase leading up, and there's a staircase leading down. And as you move towards this staircase, you can see the details of it. It's like the staircase going up goes up into this beautiful white light expanse. It's so bright you can't even see what's really up there. And as you look down, you can see darkness, but you get this feeling from this darkness that it's not something to be afraid of. It's like the darkness of the womb we all came through. It's that nurturing, loving, unlimited creative potential, the heart of the earth itself, the heart of your heart itself, that beautiful beating within you. So I'm going to have you take the stairs going up. So as you take the stairs going up, notice the details of the staircase, just like the door. Is it a grand staircase? Is it a simple staircase? Is it made of material? Is it made of light? What does a staircase look like? And I want you to feel in your body yourself going up this staircase. Feel yourself being filled with light. Feel yourself being filled with that high vibration. As you go up higher and higher up the staircase, allow yourself to be lifted higher and higher, feeling yourself getting closer and closer to that brilliant, bright light all the way at the top. Maybe you hear choirs singing, maybe you hear angels, maybe you hear birds. So high up in the sky, so high up on the staircase inside of your heart. You're exploring all of the light within you, all of the beautiful potential inside of you for creativity, all of your beautiful potential for expression. Everything that lights you up is here, things that make you feel supported, loved, are here. You're going to travel back down the stairs. Just feel yourself come back down into the space where both staircases are. Giving yourself a moment to come back down, feeling yourself grounded and centered on the earth. Before we begin our descent down the staircase, so So again, taking a look at this staircase that goes down, noticing its details. Perhaps it's going into the earth, so it's stone or made of trees, or just a ramp and a path that leads down. But as you take these steps down, you can feel the light getting dimmer and dimmer, and you're going into this darkness. But it feels comforting, it feels supportive, it feels loving and nurturing. It's like the womb energy. Perhaps you can feel a rhythmic beating inside of this dark staircase going down, feeling yourself going down. And as you feel that going down energy, things get denser. You feel more grounded, you feel more connected to your physical body. You can feel the heaviness, the darkness surrounding you. Again, remembering that it's like the darkness of the loving womb rather than just the darkness where things can scare us or hurt us. Exploring that place, feeling its depths, allowing yourself to be scared if dark scares you, that's okay. Tuning into the rhythmic sounds around you, if that's the case. We're coming back up. Coming back up the staircase now. Back up where we can see light again. We're coming back to a place where we can see all around us. All around us again in the heart center. Now I'm going to invite you to experience what it feels like to go to both staircases at once. Imagine that at the same time you're ascending, you're also descending. Allow yourself to feel yourself going in both directions, and in that feeling of going in both directions, allow yourself to stay centered in that energy that exists in between. So you're standing on the ground, but you're sending a part of you up, and you're sending a part of you down, and I want you to experience what that feels like as you explore together at the same time the light and the dark, the up and the down. Expanding that, feeling yourself going in both directions, seeing yourself going up and down. It's like there's three parts of you. You're staying with the part in the middle that can feel and sense the part going up that feels lighter and lighter, and the part going down that feels denser and denser. And you're staying right in the center of it, feeling and being aware of the ascent and descent, but experiencing the neutrality that happens when these both are expressed in equal measure. Feeling yourself going to the light and to the dark at the same time. Feeling yourself embrace the good and the bad at the same time, through balance, through neutrality. The part going up and the part going down reach as far as they can go before they turn around and come back. You feel them slowly coming back into you, staying in that neutral space, but connected to their journeys. As the part of you that's down below feels lighter and lighter, and the part of you that's up high as it comes down the stairs feels heavier and heavier. As both parts of yourself come back to the ground that you're on, you can feel them merge inside of you. We're going to hold this space. I invite you to consider one word to feel and explore in this space. That word is balance. Hold this balance inside your heart for as long as you can. If you notice you stray away from it, just guide yourself back to the feeling, to the intention of being balanced. And leave this feeling of balance here as we walk away from these staircases and we start to journey further into our heart. And we're walking towards a campfire. You can see a fire in the distance. And we're walking towards it. As we're walking towards it, we notice there are people at this campfire, different versions of ourselves. As we get closer and closer, we begin to realize that these are the part of ourselves that we've classified as good and the part of ourselves that we've classified as bad. So as we are walking up to this campfire, we are beginning to interact with the parts of us that we've classified as good. So imagine yourself walking around the circle, and you're walking around the half of the circle that has all the parts of you that you've classified as good parts of you. I want you to call them all out by name in your head. Just say, this is the part of me that, whatever quality it is that you have, whatever thing it is that you did that you're proud of, whatever aspect that you really identify with and love about yourself, call it out loud and feel yourself embrace that part of you. I'm grateful for this part of me. And say, as you move on and you meet all these other parts of you that you really, truly embrace, that you think are such good qualities about you, that other people have said are good qualities about you, feel yourself hugging, and as you hug each one, they just sit down in a circle with you, holding space for you as you go around greeting the other parts of yourself. You're still just greeting the good parts of yourself, calling them out, knowing what they are. And as each one sits down, they go into a meditative space where they're holding you with so much love and appreciation. Feel their love as you hug and embrace the other aspects of yourself you've classified as good. Before you move on to face the parts of yourself you've classified as bad, take a moment to look up at the sky. You can see and feel the beautiful full moon in Libra. This is the largest moon of the year. This is balance energy in full force, balance energy magnified. Feel this magnification supporting you in this process of balancing, of greeting and integrating the parts of yourself that you've classified as bad, that you were told was bad, that you were told was not good, that you tried to hide, that you've shamed, that you've judged. All the parts of you that you've classified as good are there, supporting you, loving you as you start to walk around the circle and face and embrace the parts of you that you've given this bad label, remembering that this is all about balance, that nothing is good or bad, it's perspective. All parts of you are equal. You have to, in order to have balance inside of all parts of you, you have to accept and embrace the dark and the light, the good and the bad, and refuse to label any part of yourself as better than the other. So you walk around the circle, imagine yourself embracing, calling these parts of you out. Hugging these parts, loving them, apologizing for calling them bad. Honoring yourself and honoring them as parts of you. Moving around the circle, embracing these other parts of you, these bad parts of you, these parts of you that have been shoved away and not been nurtured, not been loved. And as you leave one part, you notice that the other parts of you that you thought that you classified as good, they're getting up and they're going to go and hug that part that you just left. So as you go around and start facing all these parts of you, the rest of you is going to also embrace those parts of you, giving them hugs. You can feel so much love expanding around this campfire You have so much support from this full moon, so much love from this goddess mother energy, so much support from Aries energy and the sun, allowing you to make a new story, allowing you to change your life, allowing you to change this story. Let go of thinking that parts of you that maybe didn't know better, that were just trying to be loved, that were hurt, trying to be seen and heard. Embracing each of these parts and feeling the embrace of all parts of you as you move past and around them. Just taking a few moments to embrace and hold and love and set free the parts of you that you've continuously judged and classified. Loving them, nurturing them, seeing them loved by the other parts of you. All parts of you are now integrated. There's good and bad. Everyone's around the circle in different spots. There's no differences between the parts of you that have received approval and the parts that have been disapproved of. And everyone takes a seat down around this campfire. And all parts of you join hands. And you form a circle around this campfire. And for a few moments, we're just going to hold love for all parts of ourselves as we integrate the light and the dark within us, as we find balance and peace within ourselves, with ourselves, for ourselves. Under the light of this full moon, with the support of this beautiful Libra balancing energy. One by one, all these parts of yourself join back into you. You can feel them all integrating. As you call them all back and feel yourself seated alone now at this campfire. Seeing all the other people who have joined in this meditation, in this ceremony around the fire now. Smiling at them, being proud of them for the work and balance that they are bringing into their lives. Feeling their pride in you for doing this work, just tuning in with everyone else in the ceremony, live or replay. Congratulating the people all around, feeling their love for you, feeling your love for them, all share this journey. And then they all disappear as well, and you're left alone in your heart center by this fire. You get up. You begin to walk around, see the door that you came through. As you get closer to it, you remember its shape, its size, its color. You remember the handle shape and size and color. You open the door, you step back into the room that you're in, you see yourself where you are, peaceful and relaxed, and you feel yourself settle back into your body. Maintaining that balanced energy, maintaining that harmonious flow as you slowly bring movement back into your hands, back into your feet, back into your body. When you are ready, you can open your eyes. If you want to journal about that experience, you're more than welcome to go and journal about that. Thank you guys so much for everything that you do, everything that you are, all of your love, all of your support. Thank you for joining me on these moon ceremonies. They are shifting, just so you know. So we are moving to Patreon on the 22nd for the next new moon in Taurus. And we're going to be spending a full month working on the chakras, because we did this chakra meditation work every week, and we found that it was actually a little too much to integrate. That to clear these chakras, we really need more time, and what better way to use the cycles of the moon than to help us be supported in clearing out these blocks and these issues. So we'll start with the root chakra. The block is fear. So if you know anyone feeling fear right now, this is a process that could be very, very supportive. We're all going to have each other on Patreon. We're all going to be going through the same experiences. We'll be checking in throughout the weeks. And for the full moons, we'll be celebrating how far we've come. We'll be resetting our intentions to go forward and really checking in with how the fear is shifting and clearing from our lives. So that's on Patreon. It's only $12.30 a month to access those moon ceremonies, and you also get weekly broadcasts with sound bowls and meditations. So it's definitely worth it. Please support us if you can. Please send people our way if you can. Thank you again for joining. I'm going to end. You can hang out here and watch me blow out the candles if you want. You can leave and go about your day if you want. I thank you all for joining. I love you all so, so much. We're going to release the energies of the moon, thanking the moon for being here. Releasing the energies of the west, thanking water for being here. Releasing the energies of fire, thanking fire for being here. Thanking the south, releasing energies of the east, thanking air. And thanking earth, energies of the north. As always, my loves, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors that universal light within you. Namaste.